Did you all try? If you got an answer, just send in the chat. I'm assuming that you tried. So first we have to get an expression for either x or y, right? So we can use this equation and write that x is equal to 19 minus 2y. Yeah, I just sent 2y to the other side, becomes minus 2y. Then xy is equal to 60, right? 1 and 2. I can substitute 1 in 2. That is, instead of x, I can write 19 minus 2y into y is equal to 60. So you get 19y minus 2y squared is equal to 60. Send everything to the other side. 0 equals 2y squared minus 19y plus 60. Then you can apply the equation. So we can apply to the equation for the quadratic. Y is equal to minus b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So minus b, that's minus 90 plus or minus root b squared is what? Here 9 is 19 squared, no? Minus 4ac. 4a is 2, c is 60 over 2a. 2 into 2, right? So that is 19 plus or minus root 19 squared is what? 9 into 9, 1, 8. 9 into 1, 9 plus 8, 17. Here 19 again. 17 plus 19 is 36. Yeah, 361. Thank you. And 4 into 2 is 8. 8 into 60 is 480. 480 and 360. Yes. So this is plus, this is minus. You get minus 190, no? 480 minus 300. 60. Sorry, 480 minus 361. Here 9. And 7 minus 6 is 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. That is minus over 4. Yes, you can't really simplify beyond this point. You can't simplify beyond this point because we don't have to find the roots of negative numbers. Ne? And so there is a problem in the question as well. But they can, like, you can get an easier two expressions. Okay. Then a numbers are what case there. So you get a minus value inside the root. You can't do it after that. Like we don't need to know, right? Complex number එකක් නෙමෙයි. You can keep it at that. Right? You won't get questions like this. This is just practicing basic maths, no? In the exam, you won't get questions like this. This is just for practice. We are never coming back to this lesson, no, and you don't have to like practice these again either. When you do questions, you practice them automatically. The only part is uh, the only part that you kind of need, the main parts that you need here are trigonometry. That also like it recurs in almost every lesson, right? Uh, Trigonometry, then graphs also it always like you keep learning as the lessons go on. The next part is logarithms. Logarithms is the part that you forget because logarithms you don't use daily, no? You use when you mostly do essay questions. So logarithms you will forget how to do. So that you will have to practice. Right. Yeah, we can go into trigonometry. Yeah? Okay. So there's a first we'll write a note and then we'll go into the questions. So for physics, we need a pretty basic amount of trigonometry. We don't need a lot, right? So this is a right angle triangle. Its hypotenuse is Z. X is a side length and the other side length is Y. And this angle is theta, right? I have labeled it as theta. Then how can you write the other angle using given variables? What will the other angle be? You have done these in all levels, angles in heading. Yes. So in all levels, usually you get x thing. If this is x, this is what? This is 90 degrees. Yeah. 90 minus theta. Then x කියලා අපි angles theta කාලා ඉවරයි. හරි. So it's 90 minus theta now. Angles then then x කියලා it will almost always be theta. Right? And you have learned about sine theta, tan theta, and cos theta, just the basic ratios. Right? What is sine theta in terms of x, z, or y using the side lengths? What is sine theta? opposite over hypotenuse. That is y over z now. Y over z. Cos theta. Yeah. Cos theta is adjacent over the hypotenuse. Exactly. It's adjacent over the hypotenuse. So x over z. Then we have tan theta, which is what? Yeah. Opposite over adjacent. Opposite over the adjacent for the given angle. So for theta, it's y over x. No? Y over x. So now I'm going to take, so these you remember well. That's good, right? Now I will take sine theta divide by cos theta. See what you get. Take sine theta and cos theta and divide sine theta by cos theta and see what you get. Exactly. You get tan theta, right? So sine theta is y over z. Cos theta is x over z. Divide by x over z. So divide by something, you can multiply by the inverse. No? Multiply it by z over x. So this gets cut, which is equal to y over x. Y over x you can see is equal to opposite over the adjacent, which is tan theta. So sine theta over cos theta equals to tan theta. Sine theta over cos theta is tan theta. You will need this for almost all questions involving angles. Right. Then now we have another angle called sine 90 minus theta. Right? Sine 90 minus theta. So not sine, just 90 minus theta. So what is sine 90 minus theta? The sine value of that angle. Yeah? ඔව්. එන්න කියවලා තියෙනවා වෙනම හරි. Yeah. It's sine of this angle. Right? අර 90 minus theta එකෙන් බය වෙන්න එපා. Sine of this angle 90 minus theta will be x over hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse. X over z. What is x over z in terms of theta? මේ ටිකෙන් බලන්න. X over z කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? Yes. It's cos, no? X over z is cos theta. So this is sine of 90 minus theta. This is equal to cos theta. Right? Sine of the other angle is equal to the cos of theta. And it should be other way around as well. What about cos 90 minus theta? That is equal to, what is cos of 90 minus theta? Yes, is adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent for 90 minus theta is y. Hypotenuse is the same. Yeah, everyone has same. Huh? Very good. So that is y over z. Then y over z for theta is what? Sine value, no? Sine value. So cos 90 minus theta is equal to sine theta. Right? Cos 90 minus theta is sine theta and sine 90 minus theta equals cos theta. කියන්නේ අර දෙපැත්තම අරයාගේ sine එකයි මෙයාගේ cos එකයි. හරි? මෙයාගේ cos එකයි අරයාගේ sine එකයි. Right. Write these down before going into the next part. මට ඉඩමද ඒක. As everyone wrote down, අන්තිම ලියන කට්ටිය ඉන්නවද තාම? Is it okay to erase? Okay. So I'll erase. Right. Right. Now you know this is a right angle triangle. නේ? And for right angle triangles, you can apply a theorem. කවුද? ඕලෙවල ආසම theorem එක මොකද්ද? ලේසිම triangle එකක sides තුනක් තියෙද්දි right angle triangle එක. What's the theorem you can apply? Yeah, Pythagoras theorem. නේ? Pythagoras theorem. So Pythagoras said that the hypotenuse square is equal to the sum of the sum of the squares of the other two sides. Z squared is equal to x squared plus y squared. නේ? ඒතර කොහොමද අපි ඔය දෙක ලියාගන්නේ? Take these two values. You can multiply sin theta by z. So you get y is equal to z sin theta. And you get here is x is equal to z cos theta. So instead of x and y, we can write x is z squared plus x squared. So y is z sin theta. X is z cos theta. They are squared separately, right? So you get z squared is equal to z squared. And when you square a sine or cos or tan, square එක ලියන්නේ මෙහෙම නෙමෙයි. You don't write it like this. This is wrong. That's sine value of theta squared. ඒ කියන්නේ එතකොට theta is equal to 30 degrees කියලා. ඔව්. අපි radians වලින් ගමු. it is pi rad කියලා කියමුකෝ. theta. If you write sin theta square, this is equal to sin pi squared. So it's like sine value of pi square. But like when you put a bracket like this outside of the sine, when you want to square the sine theta value, it's written as sine square theta. මොකද මෙහෙම එකක් එන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ θ එක ස්ක්වයර් වෙන වෙලාවල් එන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි එහෙම ඒවා එන්නේ නැහැ. ඇත්තටම මේ questions වලවත් අර කොහෙවත් angle එක ස්ක්වයර් වෙන්නේ නැහැ usually. So sin value එක ස්ක්වයර් වෙන්නේ ඒක පෙන්වන්නේ ස්ක්වයර් එක දාන්නේ sin එක ගාව. θ එක ගාව නෙමෙයි. Right? So that means you get the sine value. So if it's like sine theta, sine square theta, that is you get the sine value of sine pi. Right? You get the sine value for this. Then you square it. Okay? Then you square it. First you get the sine value and then you square it. එහෙම නැතුව angle එක square කරොත් angle එක pi කියලා ගන්න. Angle එක නම් square කරේ. Right? That will not be equal to the square of the sine value. ඒ දෙක දෙකක් වෙන්නේ උත්තර. හරි? So we write it as sine square theta or cos square theta or tan square theta. And you can put a side note on that to write sine the square of sine cos theta, correct? So z square sine square theta plus z square cos square theta. You can see z is common for everyone. You can take z out, z squared out. Sine square theta plus cos square theta. So this and this can be cut. You get 1 here. Z square over z square, and again 1. 1 is equal to sine square theta plus cos square theta. Another trigonometry equation. මේකත් ඕන වෙනවා සමහර තැන්වලදී. කියාගන්න. Right. Next we have මේක දැන් මතක තියාගන්න දේවල් කීපයක් තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ sin theta cos theta values කීපයක් තියෙනවා. අපි මතක තියාගන්නම වෙන. හරි. මොනවද කියලා බලන්න. So we will have to draw a table. So 0 cos theta positive. Right. 30 degrees, 45 degrees, and 0 0 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60, and 90. So here sin theta value, cos theta value, and tan theta value. So for 0, sin theta is 0, right? For 0, sin theta value is 0. Cos theta value, so theta, sin theta is 0. Cos theta is 1. Cos theta is 1 when sin theta is 0. You can get it from that equation also. My bad, and tan theta is also 0 when theta is 0. Then for 30 degrees, sin theta is sin 30 is half. Cos theta, cos 30 is root 3 over 2. Tan 30 is 1 over root 3. My values, questions are product n values and they don't usually give the value of like sin 30. මේ table එකේ තියෙන දැන් අපි මේ ඉගෙන ගන්න values ටික ඔයගොල්ලෝ මතක තියාගන්න. ඒක අර කටපාඩම් කරන්න කියන්නේ නෑ මම. හැබැයි අර questions කරලාම පුරුදු වෙන්න. Sin 45 is 1 over root 2. Sin 45 is 1 over root 2, right? Cos 45 is also 1 over root 2 because 45 degree angle එකක් කියන්නේ right angle triangle එක. If this is 45, this is also 45. So that means these sides are equal. දෙපැත්ත equal කියන එකනේ කියන්නේ. So sin theta equals cos theta when 45 is the angle. Tan theta is equal to 1. You will receive a logbook. Logbook එකේ yeah, in the logbook you will have these values, but may the basic values ටික මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ. Because for MCQs they won't give logbooks. Only for the essays you get logbooks. And in the essays, if they give sin theta these values, they usually give the numerical value as well. ලොග් පොතෙන් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් angle එකක මේ වගේ angle වල හොයන්න ඕන වෙන්නේ නැහැ. They will give harder angles නිකන්. අමුතු angle එකක් 6, 7, 35 අර එහෙම එකක් දෙන්නේ essays වල. essays වල මේ වගේ ලේසියව දෙන්නේ නැහැ. MCQs වලට තමයි මේක මතක තියාගන්න. So sin 60 is root 3 over 2. Then cos 60 is here the cos 60 again. Yes, half. So you can see a pattern between cos theta and sin theta. පොඩ්ඩක් හොඳට බලන්න. Sin 90 is 1, cos 90 is 0. Tan theta යන්නේ යාගෙම ගමනක. හරි. Theta 60 වෙද්දි tan 60 is root 3. Then at 90 degrees tan 90 is infinity. හරි. So look at sin theta. Sin theta යනවා 0 to half to 1 over root 2 to root 3 over 2 to 1. ඒත් එක්කම cos theta යනවා 1 to root 3 over 2 to 1 over root 2 half 0. මෙයා මෙහෙට යන pattern එක තමයි මෙයා මෙහෙට යන්නේ. Same pattern නේ. ඒක තමයි අර අපි කිව්වේ sin 90 sin theta is equal to cos 90 minus theta. Value එකක් ගන්න 30 ගන්නකො. sin 30 should be equal to cos 90 minus 30. 90 minus 30 is cos 60. Sin 30 equals cos 60 again. Well, half. Sin 30 is half. Cos 60 is also half. Then take sine 60. 45 ගන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට කොහොමද sin 45 equals cos 35 කියලා නෙන්නේ. That is 1 over root 2 දෙන්නට. Right? So then take sine 60. Then you get cos 90 minus 60. You get sine 60 equals cos 30. Sin 60 කියන්නේ root 3 over 2. Cos 30 කියන්නේ root 3 over 2. හරිද? Equal. So that is what this table shows us. Copy down the table, and also if you want this to kind of like show the relationship between them. Right. Can you hear me still? My earphones ran out of battery. They haven't charged. Okay. Right. So we will go to the next part. Right. Have you ever finished copying down it? Does anyone want me to keep it for some time? Yeah. Okay. So there's another equation, right? මේක මෙහෙම මේ equation එක ලොකුවට questions වල නැහැ. එක තැනයි අහන්න තියෙන්නේ. එතන අපි vectors වල කරමු එක. Right? For now you can just write it down. Cos 180 minus theta is equal to minus cos theta. Cos 180 minus theta is equal to minus cos theta. Right? ඒක ඇයි කියලා just you don't need to prove this equation, right? I'll just show you how it comes using using the cos graph. මේ ටික හරිනේ? නෑ මේක තියමු. Okay, first we will go to the sine graph. I'll write this equation again near the cos graph also. So, right? අපි ඉස්සර sine graph එක බලමු. Sin theta versus theta. Sin theta versus theta. When theta is 0, sin theta also 0. Right? කියන්නේ බිඳුවෙන් පටන් ගන්න. When theta is 90 degrees, sin theta is 1. Okay, 1 තමයි යන්න පුළුවන් උඩරිම +1. හරි? When theta is 180 degrees, this will be then theta is 180. Sin theta again comes to 0. When this is 270 and තව 90 එකක් ගියාම it will come to -1. And at 360 degrees, it will again come to 0. හරි? So what you have to know, angle එක කොහොමම ආය යනවා. හරි? ආය 450 වලදී 1 වලට එනවා. 540 වලදී 0 වලට එනවා. කොහොම යනවා. So what you have to know is sin theta graph starts from 0 and goes in a wave pattern. Right? It goes in a alternating wave pattern. And both sides are symmetrical. Starts from 0. ඒක තමයි දැනගන්න ඕන. Cos theta graph starts from where? 0. Theta 0 with the cos theta clear. You can use the table. Theta equals 1. So it starts from 1 and at 90 degrees cos theta is 0. So starts from 1 and goes to 0 at 90 degrees. Then at 180 must be -1. And 270 it will be again 0. ඒක ඔයගොල්ලෝ අද විතර ලස්සනට අදින්න. Right? These two should be symmetrical. මං අන්දාගෙන ඉන්න like draw it symmetrically. So this is at 270, this will be at again 360. So at every value, cos theta is opposite of sin theta. මෙයා opposite නෙමෙයි. It's the kind of the other value. When this is 1, this is, so when sin theta is 1, at 90, this is 0. You can take at 360 cos theta 1, sin theta 0. දෙන්න අර අනිත් පැත්තට තමයි යන්නේ. දෙන්න කවදාවත් මීට් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. අරයා මේ කොනේ ඉති මෙයා එහා කොන. Then in cos theta අර equation එක දැන් උතන්ට ගන්න පුළුවන්. Cos 180 minus theta equals minus cos theta. This is usually we take for greater than 90 angles. ඒ කියන්නේ example take 120 degrees. Right? Take 120 degrees. So theta is 120 minus cos 120. 120 will be somewhere minus. මෙහෙනේ 120 can 90 and between 90 and 180. That means there will be a minus value. And that is equal to cos 180 minus 120. So this cos 120 is a minus value, obviously. You can see from the graph. So minus into minus. Right? Or you can like, let's say we are finding cos 120. Minus cos 120 is equal to cos 180 minus 120. 180 minus theta is, then that is cos 60, no? Cos 60 is what? You can use the graph. Cos 60 is half. So half is equal to minus cos 120. Then cos 120 is minus half. Right? You will need, like, you will have to use this in vectors, but that's also in just in one way that they can give the question. And we will be doing that. මෙතන මම පෙන්නුවේ මේ නිකන් කියලා දෙන්න විතරයි. හරි? This is not a big part of the trigonometry that you want to know. මෙන්න මේ ටික තමයි mainly දැනගන්න. මේ ටිකයි sin cos tan උයි අර 1 equals sin square theta plus cos square theta එකයි තමයි mainly දැනගන්න. And sin theta equals cos 90 minus theta. Don't focus yourselves on this. Right? I just told it because it would feel incomplete without telling that. Then we'd have the tan theta graph as well. I'll give you a time to draw. Okay? So look at the table and see how tan theta has varied. When theta is 0, tan theta is 0. When theta is 45, tan theta is 1. Eh? When theta is 90, it has gone to infinity. But you can't show infinity on a graph. Right? So infinity is shown in a graph as a parallel line to that relevant point. 90 වල infinity යනවා කියන්නේ it will be parallel to the y-axis. At 90 it's going to infinity. You can see where it's going. So it is increasing exponentially. That is what this shows. Right? So here you can see variation of sine theta with theta is theta increase. Sine theta also increase, but until 90, then it decreases. Right? This is still 90 degrees. Cos theta other way. Theta increase, cos theta decrease from 1 to 0 until 90. We mainly need until 90. Right? This theta increase, tan theta increases like along like exponentially. It increases more than what sine theta has increased. So copy these down, the graphs. Copy and do the, I'll give the question for those who have already finished copying down. So copy that and do the first one. Always draw diagrams. Do the first question and send the answer. First question in the trigonometry one, okay? Give me 1 second. So what's the answer for the first question? In a right angle triangle, PQR, length of PQ is 5 units. So it's a right angle triangle like before. P, Q, and R. Oh, Q is in the wait, Q is the this is 19. P, Q, R. P, Q is 5 units. Q, R is 4 units. What is the length in units of P, R? They're asking this. So you can use Pythagoras thing. You will get a something like the root value, ne? Won't be divisible. Yeah, root 41. Ne? 41 though. Yeah. X square is equal to 4 square plus 5 square. So 16 plus 25 is equal to x square. 16 plus 25 is 41 is equal to x square. X is equal to root 41. Yeah. Okay. So everyone has gotten that. Ne? So let's do the second one. The diagram is this. There's a street lamp which is 18 meters tall. Within the street lamp. The light is here. And there's a tree as well. Within the graph. This is 18 meters tall. Right? The tree casts a shadow of 12 meters long. This is 12 meters. This distance is also given as 18 meters. So they are asking what is the height of the tree. This is the shadow of the tree, 12 meters. Send the answers in the chat. Right. Tree to light post is given. It's given. It's a data that is given in the question. It's not given. That's it. I didn't find it. I just gave it to you. Now you have to use trigonometry. Ne? So choose an angle. You are asked to find this, the like height of the tree. මේක තමයි අහන්නේ. So I will give you a hint. Take this angle as theta. and see how many triangles are there. So asked to find, let's say this length is h, for the tree, height is h. Yeah, one of you has sent the correct answer. අනිත් පැත්ත එවන්න. දෙන්නෙක් කියලා තියෙනවා. So I'll show you the triangles also. This is one triangle. You see the big triangle is obviously there. So එයාගේ lengths අපිට දෙකක් ගන්න පුළුවන්. Right? You can take the opposite, this length, and you can take this length, which is the adjacent length. That is opposite over adjacent, which is tan theta, no? Is 18 over 18 plus 12. That is 18 over 30. Cut by 6, here 3, cut by 6, here 5. Tan theta equals 3 over 5. And there's another triangle as well, the smaller one, concerning the tree, this one. Same angle, no, theta. So you have one side, you have the adjacent side, you are asked to find the opposite side. You also know what tan theta is equal to. So tan theta for the small angle. Tan theta for, not the small angle, small triangle. Tan theta for the small triangle will be h over 12. This is h, this is 12. H is opposite over adjacent. Right? So tan theta is also equal to 3 over 5. So you can just write 3 over 5 is equal to h over 12. So you get h is equal to 3 over 5 into 12. 36 divided by 5. 12 into 3, 36. 36 over 5. That is 7, 35, 10, 2. 7.2 meters. Yes, 7.2. Any questions? Did everyone understand that? Let's go to the next question. So this is the big triangle. For the big triangle, right? Angle is theta. And for the small triangle also same angle. So for the big triangle, you can write tan theta is equal to opposite. 18 divided by adjacent, which is 18 plus 12, 30. 18 over 30. That is 3 over 5. Then same angle, so same tan theta is equal to, using the small triangle, h over opposite over adjacent, h over 12, right? H over 12. That is equal to, h over 12 is equal to 3 over 5 because it's the same angle. No? Then you can substitute and find for h, right? Okay, let's do another sum. Third one, the diagram is this. So area in square units of, sorry, diagram में पट्टक वेनस. Area of the triangle LNN. Area of the triangle LNN. Right? LNM triangle එක area එක තමයි. So lengths of LN, NO and OM. NO නෙමෙයි. O, O, the OM. LN, LM උත් නෙමෙයි. NO. NO and OM වගේ වань. So you have to find the area of this triangle. This is given as 90 degrees. And these lengths are given 8, 4 and 5. You don't need trick to do the question. Answer is a whole number. You get a good number. They're asking area of LNM triangle. This is like a grade 8 question. You don't need trigonometry here. What is the equation for the area of a triangle? Yes. Yeah. All of you have sent the correct answer. Ah, it's not 52. So you can find the area of the big triangle LMO, big one, right? That would be half the base into height. Half 8 plus 4 into 5. That is half 12 into 5. That's 6 into 5, 30. That's the total area. You can find this area as well for the small NOM triangle, NOM triangle. That is half 4 into 5. That's 2 into 5, 10. So they are asking this one. You have the total, you have the side angle 10. So if you take the difference, you get the LNM, no? Triangle 20. Yes, we can directly find it as well. Half base into height is applicable for any triangle. This base here for L and M is 8. And the vertical height is what you should get. So that is 5, no? Half 8 into 5. 4 into 5, 20. Right? Okay. Next we will do sixth one. Sixth one. First you have to draw a diagram. No? They say a ladder is 4.2 meters long. It is placed against a vertical wall so that its foot is on the horizontal ground. It makes an angle of 52 degrees with the ground. Draw a diagram to represent the situation, labeling all measurements. So first I'll give you one minute. We don't need 1 minute, no? 30 seconds to draw the diagram. Then I will draw it and we will go into the calculation. So for this, you are given two data values. Sine 52 degrees is equal to 0.788 and cos 52 is equal to 0.62. Take this as 0.79. Okay, diagram time. A ladder, you can draw the ladder this way or the other way, doesn't. It's all right. So a ladder is placed against a vertical wall. So the wall is making 90 degrees with the ground. That is what you mean by vertical. its foot is on the horizontal ground. The ladder makes an angle of 52 degrees with the ground. This is the 52-degree angle, right? So this is 4.2 meters, the ladder's length. You are asked calculate the height the ladder reaches up to the wall. Let's take that as x, up to two significant figures. That means two decimal places, right? The second one, the distance of the foot of the ladder from the wall. Let's take this as y, distance from the foot of the wall to the base of the ladder. Second one, right? You are given sine value and cos value for 52 degrees. And you have this as well. Find both and send the answer. Taking එක බලන්න ඕනේ and it's not that hard, no? Yes, both of you have sent answers. So two significant figures, okay? When they ask like that, you have to keep only two decimal places. But in exams, usually we are expected to keep up to three decimal places. Yes. So all of you have got the same answer, right? Okay. So you can write for the first one, height the ladder reaches up to the wall, that is x. So with relevant to 52, x is opposite, right? X is opposite. So you can write, you have gotten the hypotenuse. So opposite over hypotenuse, no? Sine 52, sine 52 is equal to x over 4.2 meters. Sine 52 is 0.79 equals x over 4.2 meters. So like, I mean, when you practice more, you can just straight away write x equals 4.2 sine 52. Right? 4.2 sine 52, you can straight away write that. That's all right. Samanly, like when you come to the after about few months, that's how you learn to write. Right? Abhi mein fraction, the O-level method එක තමයි මෙහි. Right? So from now on, I will write directly I will show this and write directly. Okay. So 4.2 times sine 52 is 0.79. 42 into 79. 18, 158, 6, 1, 200 and 3, 31. 360. So that is 8, 11, 1, 2, 3, 33.18. 0.79 into 4.2. 3.3. Oh, 33 වෙන්න බෑනේ. මීටර් 4ක් දිග ලඩේකකින් 33ක් මීටර යන්න බෑනේ. 3.32 කියලා දාන්න පුළුවන්. 18 you can round off to 2. So it's 3.32 meters. The height to the topmost point of the ladder from the bottom. Right? Then for y, you can straight away write y is adjacent over. You can take either hypotenuse or tan theta not given. So you have to take cos 52. Cos 52 is adjacent over hypotenuse. Y is equal to 4.2 cos 52. 4.2 times 0.62. 62 and 42. So here 124. Here we get 248. 6, 2. So 2.604. So round off to two decimal places means 4 you can remove it. So 2.60 meters is the length distance to the foot of the ladder from the wall. ප්‍රශ්න කීයක් කරනවද? අර එකක් විතර කරලා අපි ලෙසන් එකට යමුනේ. නැත්නම් ට්‍රිග්නොමෙට්‍රිම කරා වගේ. Yes, do the 8th one. Do you all have logbooks? Do the 8th one. Do the 8th one. The height of a bell tower is 15 meters. Person looks at the tower from 120 meters away. Angle of elevation to the top of the tower from the person. Neglect the height of the person. Cut this 12th question, I'll give you the diagrams. So if you have logbooks, find the angle. Don't keep it at a fraction. Find the value of the angle. You need to have logbooks, okay? When you come to the class. මට ගීසතේ කියන්න බැරි වුණා ඒක. So from now onwards, like next week anyways, we'll do logarithms, but you know how to use logbooks ne? To find an angle. Use the natural tan table. Natural tan tangents කියලා දී. Height of a bell tower is 15 meters. Right? Height of a bell tower is 15 meters. The person looks at the tower from 120 meters away. This is 15 meters. What is the angle of elevation to the top of the tower from the person? Now, this is why I said neglect the height of the person. මනුස්සයාගේ height එක ගත්තොත් වැඩි වාතයි. Right? Then there's a small height here also, no? Then angle of elevation is difficult to find. So, මෙයා කූඹියෙක් කියලා හිතන්න. If they had given the height of the man, you need to take that into account as well. They're asking angle of elevation to the top of the tower, theta. These are the diagrams for the 12th question, right? If you have sent me the answer and I said, if it's correct, we can draw these diagrams. So how do you find the angle now? You have the opposite and you have the adjacent. So you have to get tan theta. Ne? So tan theta is equal to opposite 15 meters over adjacent 120 meters. So 120 divided by 15. It's 8. Ne? You can cut by 3, 5, 40. 40 divided by 5 is 8. 1 over 8 is equal to tan theta. What is 1 over 8? You have to take the decimals now. Yes, these are fractions. 0. For 10 there is 1. 8. For 20 there is 2. 16. 40 there is 5. 0.125. So theta will be equal to tan inverse 0.125. So I see that most of you all don't have the logbooks with you. So go into the natural tangents and you have to find this value within the table. Like there are here there are minutes, here there are degrees, and within there are lots of values. No? So you have to find 0.125 inside that and take the degrees corresponding to that and add it with the minutes corresponding to that. And if you don't have 0.125 directly, let's say 0.120, then 5 is remaining now. Take that from within the other column. They would have given some 1 to 10 also no? 2 minutes, right? You have to take it for just like in log. Next week, I'll teach that as well while we do this, but you know that me because you did know level me. Yeah, it's 7.12 degrees. Theta equals 7.12 degrees. 7.12 means 7 degrees and into 60. 7 degrees, 7 minutes or something. Yeah, 7 degrees, 7 minutes. 7 degrees, 7 minutes. Okay, so copy the two triangle diagrams and there are another two as well. Then we can go into submultiples and multiples. That will be more interesting than log, I hope. Log, no, trigonometry. Right. So diagram A, B, C, D. This is for homework. Also 13th one for homework. These four and the 13th one as well. Yes. Has everybody drawn this? Tawdarati Arnold. Okay. Then let's go to a bit of physics. Physics only, but the basics. All right. So last day we did about derived units and quantities without units and so on, right? I told you you don't need to study this. මේවා යද්දි අල්ලගන්න තියෙන quantities. හරි? So now we go into multiples and submultiples, right? So sometimes the physical quantities, when you write the magnitude, it can be like very small or very large. Like usually we get in 20s, then like the quantity magnitude can be 25, 105, 1000, like that, or zero point 0.1, 1, like that. But sometimes you can get very small values, somewhat like let's say 1.6. You've done chemistry, no? So what is the charge of an electron? That's 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulombs, right? 10 to the power minus 19. So it will be like point 19 zeros and 1 6. There are more zeros, right? So you can't really physically write that. No? It's just a lot of waste of time. So in order to write such quantities, or uh, kind of like huge quantities as well, such as billions and millions, like those are the net worths of the world's richest people. So that's like 10 to the power 9 zeros for billion. No? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Again, that is 1 billion. So ඒ වගේ එකක් ලියන එකත් කරදරයි. නේ? So they have introduced prefixes, and these are prefixes to write it, right? To kind of shorten it so that we don't need much space for writing those, right? So prefixes can be divided as multiples and submultiples, right? So multiples are used to denote larger terms. So these are the multiples from 10 to the power 1 to 10 to the power 18, right? These are the multiples. So multiples are used to represent very large numbers. So let's say 1000, let's say 1000 meters. So here you can take kilo, that is 10 to the power 3, right? So 10 to the power 3 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. 1 kilometer, right? So that is how multiples are used. So a large value will be written as a smaller value using the multiple. This kilo inside it is 10 to the power 3. So 1 into 10 to the power 3 meters is 1 kilometer, right? Then for submultiples are used to denote smaller numbers. So here these set are submultiples. These are multiples. For example, take centimeter. You all know centimeter very well. So when you say 100 centimeters, or let's say 10 centimeters, how much when you want to convert that into meters? 10 centi means 10 to the power minus 2 meters. So you just, instead of c, you write 10 to the power minus 2. So you get 10 into 10 to the power minus 2. 1, 2. 0.1, no? 0.1 meters is 10 centimeters. So you have written 0.1 meter as 10 centimeters as a larger number now instead of a small number. So you have to kind of know these prefixes, and they can say uh, micrometer. Then you have to know what is the 10 to the power for micrometer, right? So exa, peta are not really relevant. Mostly they give from giga to atto. Yes, atto they sometimes give mostly from giga to atto, right? But better to know there are these values as well. Tera is 10 to the power 12, 12 and tera, right? T. Giga 10 to the power 9, mega 10 to the power 6, kilo 10 to the power 3, hecto is 10 to the power 2, which is not that much used. Deca 10 to the power 1, deca means 10, so 10, 10 to the power 1 is 10. Deci is 10 to the power minus 1. Centi 10 to the power minus 2. Milli 10 to the power minus 3. These ones you will use a lot. Mega, kilo, centi, milli, micro, nano, very much. Right? Micro will be used a lot. Micro and milli. Like that conversion will be used a lot. So micro, nano, pico, femto, atto. So micro symbol is given here. It's a Greek symbol, right? Others just have English symbols. And most of up until kilo, it's simple, kilo K, but mega, giga, tera, peta, exa are capital letters, right? Then others you can see nano N, pico P, femto F, that is 10 to the power minus 15 for femto, and atto is 10 to the power minus 18. Atto is used to measure the mass of an atom. And attogram කියලා කියන්නේ, that is 10 to the power minus 18 kilograms, 1 attogram. 10 to the power minus 18 grams, right? Not 10 to the power minus 18 kilograms. Okay, so that is about submultiples and multiples. So here let's do some questions using this. Yes. So there are rules to obey in writing SI units. So up until the fourth one, we will discuss later, right? From the fifth one onwards, it's about prefixes. Those are from fifth one. rules for prefixes. ඔන්න පැත්තෙන් දාගන්න rules for prefixes කියලා මෙතන ඉඳන්. Right? Up till the seventh one. Right? Only three rules are there mainly for prefixes from 5 to 7. So prefixes can be used to represent very large quantities as well as small quantities. That we already said, no? So this is, you can cut this 6 and write 10 to the power 6, okay? So 2 into 10 to the power 6 grams. 2 into 10 to the power 6 grams. So that is converted to megagrams, mg, capital M, right? Not milligram, this is megagram. Megagram, right? 1 megagram is 10 to the power 6 grams. 10 to the power 6 grams is equal to 1 megagram. So 2 into 10 to the power 6 grams is 2 megagrams. From this to this, you can convert. So easiest method to convert a smaller, right uh, value using a multiple would be, or submultiple would be, to divide it by that value. 10 to the power 6 grams per megagram, no? This much of grams are there in 1 megagram. So this gets cut with this. Megagram comes up 2 megagrams. Per megagram, no? Per megagram comes up, it becomes megagram. 10 to the power plus 1. We just show it. Then I'm using these three as examples so that it will be easier for you. Then 0.002 meters in millimeters. So that is using submultiples. So multiple to submultiple, it's a multiplication. Right? Using a submultiple means you get a larger value in millimeter. No? So that is 0.002 divided by how many? You are converting meters to millimeters. So millimeter is 10 to the power minus 3 meters for 1 millimeter. 10 to the power minus 3 meters per millimeter. So this gets cut meter and meter. Millimeter comes up. So the unit is millimeter. 0.002 into 10 to the power 3. 10 to the power minus 3, when it comes up, it is 10 to the power plus 3. So you get 3 zeros now. Multiplied by 1000, you get 2 into, right? 0.002 into 1000 is 2 millimeters. And 2000 pascals to kilopascals. 2000 pascals to kilopascals. So you divide by 1 kilopascal is equal to 10 to the power 3 pascals per kilopascal. So this gets cut with this. Pascal also cuts. So get 2 kilopascal. Okay, that is converting from the main unit to another using a submultiple or multiple. The other way, then you will have to multiply, like submultiple or multiple, the prefix to the normal unit, right? And the sixth one, they cannot be separated from the unit, right? So when you write kilopascal, you can't keep a space and write kPa. That is different. You have to write kPa together. Oh, millimeters, it's not a, there's no space between. Should write mm or cm, right? Kilogram, you write together, no? Similar to that. So these, if you want, you can write the method. I mean, it's better if you write it for these three. What's the seventh one? හරිද? ඊළඟට යන්න. Okay. Seventh one is two or more prefixes cannot be written in front of a unit. So you can't write 5 kilocentimeters. That doesn't make a sense, okay? So unit එකක් තියෙනවා නම් there can be only one prefix. Right? Either multiple or submultiple. There can't be two multiples either. Mega kilogram කියලා එකක් නැහැ. හරි? Kilogram නම් kilogram. Milligram නම් milligram. ඒ වගේ. Okay? So the rest of the rules, I will explain them after we do a few sums. නැත්තම් rules ඔක්කොම එකපාර කරාම පොඩ්ඩක් ඔළුව short circuit වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Right? Okay. අපි මීට වඩා පොඩි value, I think චුටි value still. Do the third one. We'll be discussing all the questions, right? පොඩි එකේ ඉඳන් ලොකු එකට යනවා. එකපාරට ලොකු ඒවා දෙන්නේ නැහැ. බය වෙන්න එපා නිසා. Yes. One has sent the correct answer. මේක ළමයි අර මෙකැනිකලි ඇප්ලයි කරන්න යන්නත් එපා. අර හිතන්න ඔයාට එන්න ඕන ආන්සර් එක ලොකු උත්තරයක්ද පොඩි උත්තරයක්ද කියලා. දැන් 100 meters in micrometers. ඒතර 1 මීටරයක් ගත්තාම මයික්‍රෝමීටර්ස් ගොඩක්ද තියෙන්නේ? ඒ කියන්නේ 1 මීටර ගත්තාම 1 වලට වඩා අඩුද 1 වලට වඩා වැඩි මයික්‍රෝමීටර්ස් ගන්න. අර එහෙම හිතලා බලන්න වෙරිෆයි කරගන්න ආගේ උත්තරේ. නැත්නම් ඔයාලට සමහරවිට පැටලෙනවනේ අර 10 to the power plus power එකද ගන්නෙ minus power ද කියලා. ඒතර මං කිව්ව මෙතඩ් එකෙන් යන්න. එතකොට වරදින්නේ. And then check the answer, see whether it's proper. Yes. So, Now 1 meter is 1 meter වලට බලන්න. 1 meter to 1 micrometers. Right? 1 meter to micrometer. තමයි හිතලා බලන්න දැන් අර මේ පොඩි උත්තරයක් ආවම මේක වෙන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා දැන් 1 meter to micrometer ගත්තාම that's a like you should get a big answer no 1 meter එකක දැන් 1 meter in centimeters ගන්න 100ක් තියෙනවනේ. ඒතර micrometers කියන්නේ ඊටත් වඩා පොඩි අගයක්. ඒකට ඔයාලට එන්න ඕන උත්තරේ ලොකු වෙන්න ඕන නේ. So 1 meter to micrometer. In 1 meter, there are 10 to the power 6 micrometers. Right? 1 meter, there are 10 to the power 6 micrometers. So 1 micrometer is equal to 10 to the power 6 micrometer. Yes. So 100 meters in micrometers. 100 into 10 to the power 6 micrometers. Now, micro is 10 to the power minus 6. එකෙන් කියන්නේ. හැබැයි අපි meters micrometers කරද්දී 10 to the power 6 වලින් multiply කරන්න ඕන. Because it is a larger value. Micrometers ගානින් meter ගානක් ලිව්වම it's a large value. So you have to multiply by 10 to the power 6. Then you get 100 into 10 to the power 6. That's 10 to the power 8 නේද? 10 to the power 8 micrometers. Now convert this same value to meters. 10 to the power 8 micrometers to meters කරන්න. එතකොට මම පෙන්නන්නම් ඇයි කොතනද minus එන්නේ කියලා. Yes. So when you convert 10 to the power 8 micrometers to meter, that's when you have to take 10 to the power minus 6. So 1 micrometer is 10 to the power minus 6 meters. Right? අර prefix prefix එකේ, right? Prefix එකේ ඉඳන් unit එකට යද්දී you take that value of the prefix. But when you go from the unit to the prefix, you take the like other power, the opposite power. 10 to the power minus 6, now you get 10 to the power 6. When you go from the unit to the prefix. Right? Okay, so this is 10 to the power 8, 10 to the power minus 6. You get 10 to the power 2 meters. Get the same answer again. Alright, අපි කරමු fourth එක. Do the fourth one. 200 square centimeter to meter squared. Now wait. Before that, I think it's better if we do a few more normal ones. Then squares will then have. Let's convert 80 meters to kilometers. The kilometers වලට පුරුදු වැඩි. Kilometers දෙන්න හොඳ. Megameters. A unit that you will never come across. 80 meters to megameters. Send your answers. Don't be afraid that it might be wrong. වෙන කවුරුත් කරලා නැති වැරද්දක් කරලා තිබ්බොත් ඔයා දන්නෙත් නැහැ නේ ඒක වැරද්දද නැද්ද? Let's check. 80 meters to megameters. Now, 1 meter is, yeah, so everyone has sent the correct answer. 1 meter is in megameters 10 to the power minus 6 megameters. No? 1 meter is 10 to the power minus 6 megameters. So 1 meter, when you take in 1 megameter is 10 to the power 6 meters, right? 1 megameter, 10 to the power 6 meters, right? So 1 meter would be 10 to the power minus 6 megameters. Okay. ඒකයි අනිත් පැත්තට එන්නේ. අපි එතන -6 ගන්න ඒකයි. කන්වර්ට් වෙන පැත්ත කල්පනා කරලා පව එක දාන්න ඕන. right? වෙනදු ටේබල් එකෙන් අරන් එකපාර පව එක දාන්න බෑ. So it's 18 to 10 to the power minus 6 megameters. That is 18 to 10 to the power minus 5 megameters. Okay, next one. 20 square meters converted to square centimeters. That's square only. Then again, I put a silent again. Answer 7. Ito ro ba mati kiyan pura mukad vera dukin. 20 meters square. So meters to centimeters is a big value. So then meters in centimeters squared also should be a big value. So how do we do it? 20. 1 meter is 10 to the power 2 centimeters. That is 1 meter. But now meter square. Right? So square that. Then you get 20 into 10 to the power 10 to the power 2 into 2. එතකොට 2 into 10 to the power 2 නෙමෙයි. මේ power එක තමයි multiply වෙන්නේ. 10 to the power 4. 2 into 2 is 10 to the power 4. Centimeter square. So you get 2 into 10 to the power 5 centimeter square. Okay. Do the fourth one now. Yeah. So you have gotten the hang of it, no? Everyone has said the correct answer. Very good. Right. So it's now 200 centimeters square to meter square, right? So 1 centimeter is 0.01 meters. So you should get a smaller answer, no? 200 centimeters square to meter square. Yeah, everyone has sent the correct answer. Nice. So 200 centimeter to meter. So meter කරද්දී එක අඩු වෙනවා. So that's a 10 to the power minus 2 meters. 1 centimeter is 10 to the power minus 2 meters. That value square. So 200 into 10 to the power minus 4, no? Minus 2 into 2 is minus 4 meters square. So 2 into 10 to the power minus 2 meters square. Okay, Neil. Right. We can go into look into some more those here. Yes. Then make it, yeah. You have gotten the basic idea. So next, the conversions will have more than one unit. Right? එතකොට more than one unit ලියන හැටි ඉගෙන ගන්න එක. So first rule, it says, when the terms of an equation are connected with plus, minus, multiplication, or division, then they should have the same unit. ඔහොම කිව්වට බෑ ඔක තේරුම් ගන්න ඕන හරියට. right? ඔක කටපාඩම් කරන්න එහෙම යන්න එපා. එහෙම අහන්නේ නැහැ කටපාඩම් කරන්න. හරි. units ලියන්න විතරයි දැනගන්න. අපි ලිව්වොත් unit A, oh, the value A plus B is equal to C කියලා, right? The units of A should be equal to the units of B equal to units of C. Units of A equal to units of B equal to units of C. So if A is in meters, that means B and C should also be in meters. Right? Then C into D, right? C into D equals E into F කියලා ගමු. අපි ගමු C into D plus E into F equals F equals FG කියලා ගමු. Then the units of multiplication of CD, right? Units of multiplication of CD should be equal to units of multiplication of EF, right? That is equal to units of G. Then C and D, and C doesn't need to be equal to E, or D doesn't need to be equal to F. What matters is the multiplication of C and D should give the units of the multiplication of E and F. Right? That is why they can be added together. Wait a minute. And their units is equal to units of G. Right? මෙතන දාගන්න මේක එක් print වෙලානේ. Then units cannot be added. So when you add 1 meter with 1 meter, or let's say 2 meters with 2 meter and 2 meter addition, it's the numerical values get added. It's not 4 into 4 2 meters now. Right? Make add වෙන්නේ m එකයි. They are units. So it's 4 meters again. That is kind of basic common sense, I know. Right? වෙනම මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ නැහැ ඒක. Right? Then units cannot be subtracted. So kilogram minus kilogram, you can't cut and write. It's just 18, it has no units. එහෙම ලියන්න බෑ. Right? When you අපි හාල්ගෝනියක් අරන් කිලෝ 20 එක හාල්ගෝනියක් අරන් කිලෝ දෙකක් අඩු කරාම ඔයාලට කියන්න බෑනේ මේක කිලෝ sorry මේකේ 18ක් තියෙනවා හැබැයි කිලෝද දන්නේ නැහැ කියන්න බෑනේ. කිලෝනේ තියෙන්නේ නේ. It was measured. So you can't subtract units. Unit is remaining the same. But although you can't add or subtract unit, you can multiply units, right? So when you multiply here, best one would be the momentum. You know momentum in all levels, mass into velocity. So mass is in kilograms, velocity is in meters per second. So the unit of momentum is the multiplication of those two. That is kg ms minus 1. Unit of momentum. That is for an example. Multiplication of kg into ms minus 1. Similarly, you know F equals ma, right? Force is equal to mass into acceleration, Newton's second law. Mass is in kilograms like this, and acceleration is ms minus 2, ms to the power minus 2. So, force is in newtons, right? So, newtons means kg ms minus 2. So, that's a multiplication again, ms minus 2. Right? So, 5 into 2 is 10. That's 10 newtons. And also, they can be divided. Right? 20 meters squared divided by 4 meters is the meter gets cut. So we did that during conversions also. No, our example conversions ticket මම පෙන්නේ divide කරාම cut වෙනවා කියලා. ඒ වගේ තමයි. Division and multiplication can be done. But you can't use plurals. දැන් අපි කියනවානේ 1 kilogram but 5 kilograms. That's English, no? But SI unit laws වලට අනුව you when you write you don't write an S. මේක දැන් unit එක plural කරන්න කියලා grammar හදන්නේ නැහැ අපි. Right? Newtons කියලා ns ලියන්නේ නැහැ Newtons. Right? This will become Newton's second then. Because second S has a S is another unit, no seconds ni. Right? Units there are no plural units. Only when saying we say it in the plural term. You don't show plurals when writing units. Okay? So I'll give you time if you want to copy anything down before going into them, into the other laws. Okay. Third one, the lowercase should be used for all units except those named after people. Again, මොනවද? Newton capital line simple in ලියන්නේ. ඇයි අපි සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මිනිස්සෙක්ගේ නමක් that's just English, right? එතන තියෙන පොඩි English කතන්දරයක්. Right? මිනිස්සෙක්ගේ නමක් ලියද්දී අපි ලියන්නේ capital වලින් first letter එකනේ. sentence එකක මැද්දේ වුණා. So, Pascal, Faraday, capital F, Pascal, P should be capital. First letter should be uppercase. But all other units, all uh, scientifically named units such as grams, meters, seconds, මිනිස්සුන්ගේ numbering අරෙන්න දීපු ඔක්කොම simple letters වලින් තමයි ලියන්නේ. හරි? That's kind of like you already know that. Okay? And the next one is that the units should always be written after the amount. Right? Units is දැන් අපි කියනවානේ centimeter 22යි. centimeter 100යි. හැබැයි එකෙන් කියන්නේ you can write centimeter 22යි. cm 22. You can't write like that. When you write, you always write 22 centimeters. Like that problem only occurs when we think in Sinhala, right? Sinhala or our native languages. English spelling where we don't say centimeter 22, no? That's odd, right? So that's why it's easier to learn these in English because these were created by English people. So අපි වෙන language එකකින් ඉගෙන ගත්තී ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් අමාරු වෙනවා. That's why usually English medium students, if they work properly, they have an upper hand, right? And there should be a space between the unit and the value, like shown by here. The unit and the value should have a space. Okay. ඔය ටික ඔයාලා දැන්ටමත් දන්නවා. ඔය පොඩි පොඩි දේවල් ටිකක් තමයි ඔයාලට හදාගන්න තියෙන්නේ. Okay. Then fifth one we did already, no? Prefix one, fifth, sixth, and seventh we did. Then eighth one, a space must be kept when writing the product of two units. දැන් ඕක අපිට ඕන. So when I wrote about momentum, that's mass into velocity, no? So when you write, let's say it's 5 kilograms into 10 meters per second. When you write the final answer, 50, the kilogram and meters and seconds should be separated by spaces. Body space එකක් තියෙනවා. Even when you write ms minus 1, මෙච්චර ලං කරන්න හොඳ නැහැ. අර පුරුද්දට ලං වෙලා ලියවෙනවා. Because, you know, velocity is distance or speed, right? අපි velocity වලට ගිහිල්ලා නැහැ නේද? Speed equals distance over time. Distance is in meters, time is in seconds. So the unit of speed is m s minus 1. මෙතන space එකක් තියෙනවා because they are two different units. One is in distance, one is in time. Right? මෙතන මෙහෙම නෙමෙයි මේක තියෙනවා. Like it should be meter second close by Newton meters close together. ඒක තමයි මේ වැරදි කියලා වෙනවා තියෙන්නේ. It's a printing mistake. Right? ඔන්න ඔය ටික තිබ්බනම් අපිට දැනට ඇති. අපි ඉතුරු ලෝස් ටික බලමු. ඉතුරු ටික correctness එක බලන්න. Right. හරි නේද? අපි කරමුද? sums ටික. කියලා. නවයනේ තව වෙලා ඇති හොඳට මට. Okay. Do you guys want a break? I mean, I can give a 5-minute break. Do you all want a break or if you all don't want a break, I can keep going. Does anyone want a break? If no one is sending anything, I'm okay. One is saying continue. Others are not saying anything. So, okay, you don't need a break. Okay. Right. Then we will do a question. Which one? Let's do this. First one. Okay, we will continue. Let's do the first one. So I'm happy that you all don't need a break. Either I'm too slow or like it's not that exhausting for you. Or the class must be interesting. So that those are the only two possibilities now, right? So let's do the first one. Yes. Two of you have sent the correct answers. Yeah. So most of you have sent the correct answer. We'll check. 1 kilometer per hour in meters per second. So kilometer to meter is simple, no? It's 1 10 to the power 3 meters is 1 kilometer. So you have to subject them separately. You need two brackets, right? You need two brackets now. And per hour. So how much is 1 hour? 1 hour, 60 minutes, right? 60 minutes is how many seconds? 1 minute is 60 seconds. 60 into 60 seconds. So it's 3600 seconds, 1 hour, right? 3600 seconds. That is per hour. 3600 seconds is 1 hour, but it's now to the power minus 1. So that means you can open the brackets 1000 meters divide by, no? Power minus 1 means divide by. That is divide by 3600 seconds. So since they have like whole numbers, you need to get to a value, no? Otherwise you can't take anything properly. So divide by 3600 seconds. Two zeros get cut. This we can cut by 2, 5, cut by 2, 18. 5 over 18 meters per second, that is 0.277 meters per second, right? Yes. So almost everyone has got the correct answer. So that's good. Even if you don't get it right the first time, that's all right. After the class, do all these questions that we did again. If you like, you want, you can do it after the class or even tomorrow. But do it before you forget it, right? Because like there's a kind of there is scientific evidence for it. 90% of what you remember will be remember now or learn now will be lost within 24 hours. Not 90%, 50%, right? 50% of what you learn will be lost in 24 hours. So if you learn, let's say 100% of it is there now, in 24 hours, it will be 50%. If you don't revise, that is. So in 1 week, it would have gone to about 20 or 10%, right? But if you revise, let's say within the 24 hours, you have a higher chance of keeping it for a long time. If you revise within the first 24 hours and again within like next 3 to 4 days before the class again, then it will stay close to not 100%. No, we are not computers to have everything in our memory. No, it will stay close to 80 to 90%. So that percentage is better than 10%. right? So let's do, what shall we do? We'll do this fifth one. Fifth one. I didn't finish the syllabus within 1 year. I finished it within 2 years. So A levels are like around 3 years now, although they say it's 2.5 years. I finished it one within 1.5, like 20 months or something. Not within 1 year. It's difficult to finish the syllabus. Like you can finish the syllabus within 1 year without any questions and just the theory. I started in 2018. I started 2018, let's say May, like during May. I finished the syllabus in 2019, close to, I think, November or October. So that's kind of like 1 year, 6 months. No? That's like 18 months. That is too much, right? That is too much of time. Uh, like that coverage is too fast. Because I got lazy towards the end of the exam, right? Because like I have nothing to do now. I had done the questions and everything. I had done the past papers around 3 times. So like it's not a fact of being smart, right? Or being intelligent. It was that I had planned it too well that didn't have anything to do at the end because I had finished the syllabus early. I stopped most of the classes. I only went to a few revision like paper classes and stuff. I didn't need to go to theory, no, during the classes. So only about 2 or 3 classes per week. So I was doing all the questions by myself and uh, like at the end there was too much of time. So like I would say 5 to 6 months is totally enough for you to do the past papers at least 3 times over from like 30 papers 3 times over. So 5 months would be the ideal time because like you need a bit of stress and a bit of like time constraint should be there for a bit so that you can like you know be motivated. Otherwise, like when time is too much also that's a problem, right? Yes. So those who have sent the answer have sent the correct answer. Yes. Yes. So let's check it. Yeah. So fifth one. I asked you to do fifth. So 100 kilograms per cubic meter going into grams per cubic centimeter, right? So 1000, no? 1000 kilograms to grams. So kilograms to grams, there will be lots more grams in kilograms, right? Yeah. 10 to the power 3 grams is 1 kilogram. Then per cubic meter to per cubic centimeter. So this is like density in grams per cubic centimeter, no? So meters to centimeters is 10 to the power 2, right? 1 meter is 10 to the power 2 centimeters into 10 to the power 10 to the power, sorry, 10 to the power minus 3, right? So 1000 into 10 to the power 3 grams into 10 to the power 2 into minus 3, that's minus 6 cubic centimeter per cubic centimeter. This is per, minus means per cubic centimeter. So here 10 to the power 3, 10 to the power 3, that is 10 to the power 3 plus 3, 6 grams into 10 to the power minus 6 per cubic centimeter. Power 6 minus 6 gets cut, 10 to the power 0, no? 6 minus 6 grams per cubic centimeter. 10 to the power 0 is 1. 10 to the power 0 is 1. Sixth one. No, no, I also went to classes. You can't do A levels by yourself, without going to classes. N is for newtons. Nano, you have to look at the table and get the symbol. Nano is simple then. I told you, no? Nano is, those are simple. And that's why the prefixes are simple. The submultiples are mainly simple. And N is, capital N is always Newton. Yes, two of you have sent the correct answer. Others also sent. Let's see. Sixth one. So 1 into 10 to the power 5 is same as 10 to the power 5. Newtons per square meter to newtons per centimeter square. So newtons, you don't need to change anything. You just need to change the meter. Newtons, meters to centimeters. 1 meter is 10 to the power 2 centimeters to the power minus 2. So 10 to the power 5 newtons into 10 to the power 2 times minus 2. That's 10 to the power minus 4 cent per square centimeter. So that's 10 to the power 5 minus 4, 10 to the power 1 newtons per square centimeter. 10 newtons per square centimeter. This one, heard it all this. Alright, second. So homework is second, seventh. For now, these two. Do the eighth one. So now kilojoule to microjoule. You can either do it in 2 steps or do it in 1 step. I'll show you how to do in both ways. Second to meters per second, that's not a problem. Second to not meters per second, sorry. This is matatarduna. Seconds to what? That is millisecond. Ne? So all of you have seen different answers. Yes, it's millisecond. Because there is no space. Can we check it? Because you have sent different answers, so check. 10 kilojoules per second going into microjoule per millisecond. Per millisecond. Right? 10 kilojoule to microjoule. Kilojoule to microjoule. Kilo is 10 to the power 3. Micro is micro is 10 to the power minus 6. So from here to here, you have how much? You have 10 to the power 9, no? You have 10 to the power 3 to 10 to the power 0, 10 to the power 0 to 10 to the power minus 6. So there is a decrease in 10 to the power minus 6. So when you go from kilojoule to microjoules, there's an increase, no? Microjoules ගොඩාක් තියෙනවනේ kilojoule එකක. So you have to put 10 to the power 9 microjoules in 1 kilojoule. Okay. Or you have to take it in 2 steps. That is kilojoule to joule. That is 10 to the power 3 joule. Okay. So you get 10 into 10 to the power 3 joules. Then joules to microjoules. මෙතන 10 to the power 4 එනවා. Joules to microjoules is 10 to the power 1 joule is 10 to the power 6 microjoule. So you get 10 to the power 6 into 10 to the power 4. මෙතන එන එකම තමයි. Right? Per second to per millisecond. 1 second is 10 to the power 3 milliseconds. Power එක 10 to the power minus 1. Now simplify. 10 into 10 to the power 9 is 10 to the power 10 microjoules. Into 10 to the power 3 into minus 1 is 10 to the power minus 3 per millisecond. So 10 to the power 10 minus 3, 10 to the power 7 microjoule per millisecond. Okay. 10 to the power 7 is the answer. So I'll take the table and explain again. So here, this is the table. So you are going now kilojoule, right? Kilojoule 10 to the power 3 to 10 to the power 6, which is micro. From here to here, you have 10 to the power 9, no? From kilo to micro, there is 10 to the power minus 9. Right? From 3, there is positive 3 minus 9, minus 6. So there's 9 decimal places there. So when you are converting kilo to micro, it is 10 to the power plus 9 directly. Or you can convert first kilo to kilojoule to joule. That is 1 kilojoule is 10 to the power 3 joule. Then joule to microjoule. That you have 10 to the power 3 from the kilo. And joule to microjoules, it's 10 to the power 6 microjoules in 1 joule. So you get 10 to the power 9 microjoules. So 1 kilojoule is 10 to the power 9 microjoules. So that is what I have put here. So 10 into 10 to the power 9 microjoules into this you know, then you simplify. Understood? Okay, next question. Seventh one also for homework. Seventh one for homework. We'll do. අපි 8 කරානේ. අපි යුනිට්ස් 3ක් තියෙන එකක් හදමු නේද? මේ ඔක්කොම homework කරන්න. Ninth one leave it. Ah. Oh yeah, let's do 10th one now. 10th one do now. Homework you have 2, 7, 11, 12. Yeah. ඒකයි අපි තව මොනවද කරන්න පුළුවන්. This and this also homework. So mark these for homework. 2, 7, 11, 12, 15, 16. Do the 10th one now. මේක ලොකුවට units තිබ්බට ලොකු දෙයක් නෑ කරන්න. 4,200 joules per kilogram per degree Celsius into kilojoules per kilogram per Kelvin. We are doing the 10th one now. You disconnected for a bit, no? We are doing the 10th one now. Yes. So, you can see kilogram is kilogram. Only joule has turned to kilojoule and also Celsius to Kelvin. So 4,200 joules to kilojoules is 1 joule is less than kilojoule. So it's 10 to the power minus 3 kilojoules, 0.001 kilojoules in 1 joule per kilogram. Now Celsius to Kelvin. දැන් මේ prefix ගන්න රස මේ units උත් මාරු කරලා දීලා කියලා හිතුණාද කාට හරි? 1 degree Celsius is equal to like a change, right? in 1 degree Celsius is 1 Kelvin. එහෙම නැතුව 1 Celsius කියන්නේ 1 Kelvin නෙමෙයි, okay? Right. The temperature of 1 Celsius is not 1 Kelvin. But if temperature increases by 1 Kelvin, the increase in Celsius is also 1 Celsius. පහක් වැඩි වුණොත් පහ වැඩි වෙනවා. අර same increase. එහෙම නැතුව values equal කියනව නෙමෙයි. So per degree Celsius and per Kelvin is the same, right? Per degree Celsius equivalent to per Kelvin. So you can just write per Kelvin. මුකුත් කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. Per Kelvin. So 4200 into 10 to the power minus 3 kilojoule per kilogram per Kelvin. That is 4.2, ne? 4200 into 10 to the power minus 4.2 kilojoule per kilogram per Kelvin. හරිනේ? Okay. Do the 13th one. අපි 13 and 4 11 12 15 16 රතු පාටින් තියෙන ටික homework. 13 and 14 do now. 13 do now. ඊට පස්සේ we'll check and go to 4. So there are 3 units now. 500 kilograms meters per square second going into megagrams, nanometers per square microsecond. So I have gotten 2 answers which are a bit different from your. Who of you have gotten the correct answer? Shall we check? 500 kilograms into megagrams. So kilo is 10 to the power 3, mega is 10 to the power 6. Huh? So mega is a bigger unit. So when you convert kilo to mega, the difference is 10 to the power 3, no? But it will be 10 to the power minus 3 as you are converting to a bigger value. It's like converting meter to kilometer. You divide by 10 to the power, divide by 1000. So divide by 10, multiply by 10 to the power minus 3 megagrams into meters to nanometers. Nanometer is a small quantity, no? So there are lots of nanometers in meter. So 10 to the power 9 nanometers in 1 meter. And second to microsecond. In 1 second, there are 10 to the power 6 microseconds. But it's to the per square second. So per square microsecond. Finally, we get 500 into 10 to the power minus 3 micrograms into 10 to the power 9 nanometers into 10 to the power 6 into minus 2 minus 12 per square microsecond. So you get finally here 10 to the power minus 12 plus 9, right? You get 10 to the power minus 3. Oh, you can like 10 to the power stick up एकपारा solve करो. Minus 3 plus 9 minus 12. So minus 3 and minus 15, minus 12 is minus 15 plus 9. So you get minus 6. 500 into 10 to the power minus 6, that is here 10. Two zeros, so those get cancelled with 6. So that is 10 to the power minus 400. Microgram, nanometer per square microsecond. Do the 14th also for homework. We will discuss the homework next week. මේ sums කරද්දී තමයි හදිස්සි වෙන්න ඕනේ. Right? Do it step by step in a steady manner. Right? You have time. 14th one for homework. Right? The red color ones are for homework. Okay. Okay, so we will go into the last few rules here. We'll do dimensions and checking correctness of an equation next week. And we might be able to do derivation as well. එතනින් පස්සේ lesson දෙක ඉවරයි. So definitely by the end of this month, the unit 1 dimensions part is over. Then we have measurements, measuring instruments. That will be another tube. So Let's go on to this. Ninth one. So this is also you know already. The units of the left-hand side of a correct equation are the same as the units on the right-hand side. So let's take F equals ma, something that you know. So the units of mass into acceleration, kg ms minus 2, that unit is equal to the unit of force, newtons. So newtons is the unit of force, the derived unit, but in when you write it in basic units, what you get is this. So the units of force is equal to the units of the product of mass into acceleration. That is what they are saying here, right? Then 10th one, if a correct equation, now for these laws to be applicable, the equation has to be correct, right? If a correct equation has addition or subtraction terms, their units must be the same. And units on the left hand side and right hand side should be the same. ඔකම අපි කරා දැන් නේ. අර මුලින්ම කිව්වේ a plus b equals c නම් units of a equals units of c and units of d. ඒකම තමයි. p තියෙන්නේ meters නම් q තියෙන්නේ meters, r තියෙන්නේ meters. Right? It's a distance. If it's a time measurement, p seconds නම් q seconds, r seconds. Even like milliseconds වලින් තිබ්බොත් you have to convert. That's a different story. But they are in the same type of unit, right? And even if you subtract also, it's the same scenario. Now, මෙතන ගත්තොත් units of A should be equal to units of B, but it's not equal to units of D directly, no? Units of A equal to units of 1 over D. 1 over D means D to the power minus 1. Units of A equals units of D to the power minus 1. Right? Make a name. Okay. So next it says, in a number, an expression has no units for the sine value and the cos value. What does that mean? දැන් අපි sin theta කියලා කියනවනේ. Right? Sin theta. අපි අර table එකකින් ගන්නේ sin 30 නම් half කියලා. That half ඒක half meters වත් half seconds වත් half newtons වත් එහෙම වෙන්න බෑ කවදාවත්. Sin values, cos values, tan values have no units. Right? They have no units. So, but you can have equations like this. Sine A omega. A can have units and omega can have units. But their product cannot have units. Right? Their product cannot have units. That is what is shown here. Metin, y is equal to sine A plus sine bracket say A plus omega t. So, A cannot have units. Right? A can't have units because their addition cannot have units. Right? Omega you don't need to know. Right? මෙතන මේක ගන්නකො. A cannot have units, right? Sine A plus, this is lambda. This unit is called lambda. Wavelength අපි ගන්නේ සාමාන්‍ය. Lambda plus omega t, sorry, A නේ. A plus lambda t. A plus lambda t, separately these two can't have units. No units. Because you get an answer for the addition, no? That can't have a unit because you get the sine value for that. So A cannot have units, lambda t cannot have units. But lambda and t separately can have units. Separately can have units. Right? You can write lambda A doesn't have any units, but lambda and t separately can have units. So actually you don't need to know. But lambda is per second, the units of lambda. T is time in seconds. So seconds and per seconds get cut. Then lambda t has no units. Then obviously the y can't have any units because y is the sine value. You can write this if you want here on the side. Sine, cos, tan, all three are like that. Also tan values as well. Twelfth one, an exponent. Exponent means the power, right? Of a number has no units. For example, they have taken, I'm going to erase these. They have taken e minus e to the power lambda t. So lambda into t මේකම තමයි මෙතනත්. හරි. These are two different equations. Lambda t product has no powers. Lambda t product, no power, no units. Right? No units. But separately again they can have units. But their product has no units. It's just a number for the product. Because powers cannot have units. ඔයාට දාන්න බෑ 10 to the power 2 meters කියලා. Like what does that even mean? Eh? So you can't have that 10 to the power 2 meters. And log values also have no units, right? So they have taken this equation. Y is equal to log x plus log AB. So x cannot have units. No units. AB product has no units. But separately, A and B can have units. A can have a unit, B can have a unit. But when multiply, they have to cancel out. Because log values, units තියෙන්න බෑනේ. අපි කවදාවත් log of 20 newtons හොයන්නේ කොහොමද? Newtons වලට log table එකක් නැහැනේ නේ. You only have log for numbers. So log 20 වෙන්න ඕන. No units in that. Right? So those are the rules with which we write equations, write prefixes, and yeah, and kind of like look for correctness of equations as well. Yeah, without log form, they can have units, but x cannot have a unit here, right? Because x is individual now. So log x means if it's x in meters, you can't take the log 10, no, 10 meters. You can't take the log value of 10 meters, right? So x will not have a unit even if you take individually, but a and b can have, separately they can have. But when multiplied a and b, they will have no units. Y will also not have a unit because it's the log value for everything, no? Okay, these will do next day, but I want to do some questions. Okay, we'll find some units now. So let's do the first question, but I think I will have to give you the units of energy. Ne? I don't know the units of energy. Energy is joules, but to find C. No, first we'll do this one. Second one, do the second one. Units of W is joules or kilogram meter square per second. අර දන්නේ වේ මන් දෙන්නේ නැහැ. D කියන්නේ displacement that is similar to distance. right? You can take the units of distance as displacement. But for W, you can take this. Find the units of F. Yes, two of you have sent the correct answer. Yeah, and another one. You have to find in derived units, okay? You can't say newtons. I know it. Like you can say newtons now without even getting it. You have to use basic units. When you do about forces, you can write directly newtons. You don't need basic units. But now we are trying to get into units, right? Okay, so most of you have got it correctly. So units of W should be equal to the product of these two, no? So kg m squared s minus 1 is equal to the units of force, right? Times displacement, that is in meters. So meters squared and meters get cut. Then you get, yeah, units of sorry, yeah. I wrote the wrong units for energy. This should be minus 2. This should be minus 2, right? My mistake, not yours. So the answer is kg ms minus 2, right? If you got it as ms minus 1, that's okay. That's because of my mistake, no? Okay. So we will do this as well. First one. Do the first one and send the answers. Give me 1 minute. Okay, what's the answer? Yes, one of you have sent the correct answer. Don't take joules for energy. Now I gave a basic unit now. Take that one. Because if you take the normal SI units, then it's easy. There's nothing much to do. So E is equal to mc square. This is Einstein's most famous equation. And in the last lesson, we have to learn this as well. Like its application and like there are sums with this equation. Right? This is where he disproved. This is how he proved that matter can be converted to energy and energy can be converted to matter. We'll check it. Units of E is kg m squared s minus 2. For mass, it is kg. Oh, yeah, they are asking us for c square. Kg gets cut with kg. Then you get m squared s minus 2 is equal to c squared. They're asking units of c, not c squared. So root the whole thing, right? M s minus 1 squared. You can take 2 out of the bracket, out of both. Ne? Root is equal to c. C square root is c. No? So here square root means half. No? Root is to the power half. Right? Root means to the power half. So 2 and 2 gets cut. You get ms minus 1 as the units of c. Don't do the third one. Do the fourth one for homework. This is for homework. We'll do just one more sum and stop for today. Fourth one for homework. In F equals GMM over R square. This is the equation, okay? F equals G M1 M2 over R square. So this is not 1 is down, okay? 2 is down like this. F is force, M1 and M2 are masses, R is distance. What are the units of G? Homework, okay? For now, we will do the seventh one now. Sixth one also for homework. Fourth one, sixth one for homework. 8 and 9 also for homework. In V is equal to pi r squared, V is volume, R is radius, and H is height. What are the units of pi? Equals pi r squared H. Unit of volume is cubic meter. Unit of pi they are asking. R squared is, R is distance, no? Sorry, R is radius. So that's in meters squared. H is also in meters because it's height. So you get meter cube is pi into again meter cube. Meter cube gets cut with meter cube, it's 1. So pi has no units. Pi has no units, right? Don't take it directly that pi has no units, okay? Who knows this? Pi can be given as a symbol for something, no? Then it will have units. But generally, what we say pi is 2207, that doesn't have a unit, right? So do 8 and 9 for homework. And also let's see if I can give you more homework. This we can do. So unit of current is a basic unit, no? Unit of current take as amperes. 10th one homework, right? Yes. If you get the units as 1, that means no units, right? No units කියන එකම තමයි. 0 වෙන්න බෑනේ දෙන්න. Like when you multiply it by something, it becomes 0 meaning. So that's not possible. So 1 වලින් multiply කරත් divide කරත් 1 වලින්. So that means no units. So units of current is ampere. And 11th one also do. Uh, no, don't do 11th one. Yeah, you can do 11th one also, right? Charge is measured in units of Q is coulomb. C. Coulomb. Right? It's measured in coulomb C. And also do 12th one as well. These are homework, okay? And units of power they are asking, force, velocity. Velocity has the same as speed, right? Velocity and speed both are the same. Okay. Do 13, 14, 15 as well. You can do almost everything, right? So, and also 16 as well, right? Then I can discuss them quickly next week. From 10 to 16, do for homework, right? Yes, and you can get the recording. It's in the group. I'll send the recordings from for both days, put into one folder. Then you can look at it, right? And another one. So third question. So I hope you mark the questions. I'll erase it. Third question. Third question, we don't do it right now. It's unnecessary units, right? The third question I didn't tell, I told you all not to do because it's has voltage, current, and resistance, right? Because like now they are separate units. There's no point in trying to get units for R. Resistance, in all levels we have learned it's ohm, no? So unit there, when you take units of R in terms of voltage and currents, it's a lot of different units which you won't meet yet. So there's no point in really doing this for this level, right? Uh, so you'll be doing current in about one, not 1.5 years, maybe like close to, yeah, 1 point, like after 1 year or so, no, you'll be touching current. So at that point, this will be nothing to you. It will be very easy. So here, there's no point in doing without knowing this, what this means, right? That's why it's not a hard question. Okay, right. So you can do the homework. Any more questions? I'll send the recordings to the group. Next, we can do dimensions, and also we can try to derive dimensions as well. We can try to start that part also. And we'll be doing logarithms as well. Last fourth day, we'll do graphs. Then for 4 days, we have done the basic maths. No? Then it won't be boring. Okay, so no questions. Eh? So we'll stop there for today. I hope the lesson was good for you all. And we'll meet next week and do the homework, okay? And revise as well before coming. Right. Have a great day, guys. Good night.